Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Josh.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
This is season 2 of the Aggressively Medium podcast.
It's Aggressively Mediumer.
Aggressively Mediumer podcast with Josh and
Derek.
Some of you guys might remember Derek.
Hey, guys.
From previous, like, 5 or 6 episodes. You probably...
Something like that, 3 or 4.
A bunch.
Something.
Been on a bunch of episodes.
A few.
Yeah. What's funny is somebody... Oh, no, that was somebody else. Never mind. So I'll back up. It wasn't you, but it was somebody else that listens to the podcast. And I showed up with somebody who had been on like more than one episode of the podcast. And they kept going, do I know that guy? And I was like, I don't think you like. I don't know why you would have met him.
Right.
And then get to doing the whole day or whatever. And then afterwards, he was like, has he been on the podcast? I was like, yeah. He was like, his voice sounds familiar. It's like, yep.
I like it. Who was it?
There it is. It was Riley, who listens to the podcast, and Jared, who was on the podcast. Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, so Derek's been on a bunch of episodes.
We have.
You've probably been the most guested episode.
Most frequent?
Most frequent guest that we've ever had.
That's an honor.
If I had to guess.
If you had to guess.
Anyways, but yeah, so Derek, tell us a little bit about yourself. So that the people can get to know who they're going to hear for at least another... Oh, this is episode 115.
15.
So
until 2:30 at least.
We got to do at least 2:30.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm known Josh for a long time. We used to play in bands together,
Screamo
not the same bands, but doing that, and then I would do some photography. Man, I was so bad at it too.
No, you weren't.
Looking back on it, like looking at some of those pictures.
No.
But you're being nice.
I'm not. I loved every picture that you ever took of me.
I loved every song you ever sang or scream. Either way.
Well, there was only 4 of them. We played 4 or 5 songs for 4 years.
That's the way you do it. Yeah. Nobody knows when you're a local band.
I guess so.
They can't tell.
Yeah.
So, married, got 3 kids, and I am a State Farm agent in Tuscaloosa.
So if anybody's looking for State Farm or looking for insurance.
Yeah, or even if you're not looking for insurance, call me. Yeah.
Just to talk.
Just to talk.
Yeah.
We can talk about ice cream, whatever you want.
Well, yeah. So I was thinking about it today.
Mm-hmm.
You are probably, at this point, my oldest friend that I see on a regular basis. Like my most consistent oldest friend.
Yeah, I think you are too.
I mean, like it was 2005, 2006, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there. It was right after I graduated high school in 04.
And it would have been right before I graduated high school because we were a band for about 2 or 3 years before I graduated.
Okay.
I graduated 07.
Okay.
And so, and I don't talk to anybody from high school really anymore. Mm-hmm. And I definitely don't interact with them on like a weekly basis. Yeah. So, oldest.
I think you are.
Most consistent friend.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Oh, sentimental.
We didn't hang out for a very long time.
Yeah, for real.
In between those
10 years probably?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. From when you started coming to Highlands.
Yeah, in 2013.
Yeah. So that was at least 7 or 8 years then.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, yeah. So.
That's crazy.
Perfect person to do a podcast with.
Oh, shucks. Buddy.
Yeah. And our kids go to the same school. That was random that we saw you. I didn't expect to see you guys at Northport.
Jason's in 2nd grade? No.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you get?
Miss Mason.
Nice.
She's a new teacher. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so 115 episodes, or I had 114 with Lee.
Yeah.
Fun time.
Yep.
He was more right-leaning also than I was.
I think I am too.
And that's what I was going to say. I think that I'm still more midline than you are right.
I yelled at you a lot listening to the podcast.
Good.
A lot.
Then that's what I needed.
Yeah.
I needed somebody else to like balance it. So we're like somewhere in the medium of the right then.
Yeah.
Right now.
I can't think of a whole lot that Lee and I disagreed.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you also have a lot of experience with firearms.
Yep.
And prepping.
Sort of, yeah.
We have a lot of conversations about business, It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of parallels that me and Lee talked about.
For sure.
But I didn't know Lee as long as I knew you.
Yeah. So
here we go.
Here we go.
Yep. But so
I do miss Lee though.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm gonna miss him.
He stayed with us this weekend at the house. Oh, but backing up, if anybody's looking for a job, literally hit me up.
Call him.
Because I'm looking for workers for the food truck. So
call him.
I'm now doing, I don't know if we talked about that on the last episode, but I'm now taking over Cheese Louise. So I'll be doing all Cheese Louise operations and stuff. But so one thing that me and Lee didn't agree on at the start of the podcast, but then slowly towards the end of the podcast, we started agreeing on.
Let's hear it.
Elon Musk.
Okay. Yeah. I watched that transition happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the news today, there's a big thing that Tesla is going to start implementing an F1 service strategy that eliminates same-day loaner vehicles and Uber credits. So before, they would loan you a vehicle for if service you had to have service done.
Yeah.
Or they would give you Uber credits.
Okay.
And so they would give you Uber credits up to $300 to get wherever you needed to go.
Yeah.
Personally, I've never had to use a loaner vehicle. There was one time that I was going to have to use Uber credits, but I turned them down, and I got a tow truck instead just to bring my car back to me.
Okay.
So,
what all service is there? Like brake pads?
Brake pads, rotors. But so there will be okay. So the things that I had to have done to my vehicle were the upper control arms in the front.
Okay.
Were having a pretty bad squeak.
Okay.
And it was like you would pull out of the driveway and it would just be like,
okay.
And it was just really loud.
Yeah.
And the car is relatively quiet. So
you hear it.
In a normal car, you probably wouldn't have heard it, but
right.
in a Tesla, you did. And so what they had found out was the way that they had manufactured this specific product, there was like a rubber boot that was actually letting like dirt and stuff in.
Okay. Yeah.
And normally it's like a closed, sealed off unit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get stuff in there. So the grease was wearing out and all this other stuff. But so they replaced that for free. They replaced both upper control arms. And that was like I was there for 45 minutes.
That's
getting
it?
that service done.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd prepared to be there all day.
Oh, for sure.
Cause I brought my laptop or brought my iPad. I sat down.
Like if I go to the Toyota dealership to get my truck, just the oil change, I'm there for 4 hours.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Forever.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more service stuff that you have to get done with
the gas
traditional
burner.
yeah
Right.
like, and so everybody who buys a Toyota has to get an oil change. Not everybody who buys a Tesla has to do that.
Sure.
And so there's not as many things that people have to get, and so there's not as many people at the service centers.
Right.
But so I had to get that done, and then my 12-volt battery that powers all the other stuff in the car, like the lights and all that stuff, went dead. And I didn't know it was a 12-volt battery. It was just like, my car won't let me in. It's dead. It's bricked. But it was just a 12-volt battery. And so they drove it from Seaside to Pensacola on a tow truck for free. They did not charge me for that.
Wow. So you were at Seaside when that happened?
I was at Seaside.
Okay.
And then they replaced it for free, replaced the 12-volt battery for free, got the tow there for free. And then I was like, well, I can just pay it. Like, instead of like getting in an Uber and driving all the way to Pensacola in an Uber.
Yeah.
And then picking my car up and then coming back. It's 3 hours away.
Wow.
So I would have had to drive 3 hours, pick up the car, drive 3 hours back.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just pay for a tow truck.
Sure.
And then be done with it.
Yeah.
And then everything else that I've had done to the vehicle has been like a mobile service tech. So they come in and they actually do all the service at your house or at your workplace.
Right.
They just come in like a Sprinter van or something.
That's cool. So what is an F1 service?
So the article says Tesla's focus on quick and efficient service visits with inspiration from Formula One pit crews is bringing closure to the company's offering of loaner vehicles and Uber credits for same-day fixes. And so all of that stuff, they're not giving you a loaner vehicle or Uber credits only for same-day fixes.
Okay.
So something that can be fixed in that day, you don't get that stuff. Everything else is fine. So In an effort to expedite the entire service experience as a whole, CEO Elon Musk has talked about adopting an F1 style pit strategy in service centers that will have nearly all issues fixed within the same day. Of course, this requires some reasonability from customers who have held the company to a higher standard over many years. While Elon Musk tweeted about this in 2017, the CEO tweeted about this strategy once again in late July. Despite the relatively positive ownership experience most owners report, a common issue nearly across the entire board is service. Tesla is making more changes to its service department by going all in with the same day service. The company is beginning to restrict provided transportation for some owners, especially those whose vehicles can be fixed in a single day. Let's see. So essentially what this is going into and saying is they're axing the loaner program and they're axing Uber credits only on same day services. Okay. But they're trying to resolve every issue within the same day too.
Okay.
And so I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because if an engine goes out in your Toyota,
right,
it's going to be there for
weeks, months, maybe
months, probably.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to deal with getting a rental car and doing all this other stuff. It's like, if you can replace my motor in the same day,
that's insane.
Then I don't care.
But surely that's not a same day repair.
So from my understanding of the mechanics of the vehicle, that would probably be a same day service.
Is it just a plug and play?
I think so.
That's crazy.
Because so you think about it. Let's dumb it down a lot.
For me.
Well,
I'm dumb.
Think about a Power Wheels.
Okay.
So there's a battery, an electric motor, and that battery powers the electric motor. There's a drivetrain that goes from the battery to the electric motor that powers it.
Right.
Well, actually, no. It's just there's the battery, and then there's a cable that goes to the electric motor from the battery.
Right.
That just clicks the motor on or clicks the motor off.
Charge. It's like power.
Unhook the power from the motor. Unhook the wheels from the motor. Yeah. Drop the motor. Bring a new motor in. Pick it up. Connect the wheels to the motor. Connect the power to the motor. You're done.
Is there a fan? Any kind of cooling fan?
Yeah, so there's a fan in the front of the vehicle that's mainly used for the AC compressor.
Okay.
And then there is coolant that runs through the battery to keep the batteries cool.
Yeah.
But that doesn't require it's not a very extensive extensive thing. But yeah, so
that's awesome.
I'm all for whatever you got to do to my vehicle. If you can get it done in one day, what do I care if I don't get a loaner vehicle? Doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
No kidding. When are they coming out with a Cybertruck? Have they said that yet?
So they had the Cyber Roundup or Cyber Rodeo last week or this week. It was a big investors meeting and stuff.
Okay.
And they said mid 2023 would be production start. So design is finalized.
Okay.
And so now they're just trying to pump stuff out because their main manufacturing facility is going to be the Austin plant for the Cybertruck. And so they are just now getting most of the Austin plant built.
Yeah. So I pre-ordered one.
Yeah.
Last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably get mine, 2024 maybe?
I guess it depends on how far up or down the list you are.
I'm probably way on down it.
Which model did you get? Did you get the 3-motor, the 2-motor, or the single motor?
Can I tell on the app?
Ooh, I have no idea. Honestly, I haven't had to pre-order a Tesla, so I don't know.
Let's look.
But so actually, for some of the Cybertruck reservations, you didn't even pick. They just said, "Hey, you have a reservation for a Cybertruck," and then when it gets close to production date, you'll get to pick which one you want.
That may be what it was.
Okay.
Let me see here.
But they don't know.
The vehicle configuration will be confirmed with you at a later date.
Yeah. So you got a spot in line.
Yeah.
Early on, it was you were having to pick which one you wanted.
And I think it was like $1,000 at first.
No, it was 100. It's been 100 since.
I thought when it first came out, it was 1,000.
100.
No, it did. Okay, so
Yeah, it's always been $100 reservation fee.
And you can get it refunded too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. If you decide you don't want it, which to me would be extremely dumb, because there's going to be 1,000. There's going to be 1 million people looking for that truck once it comes out.
Yeah.
You'll be able to turn around. Like there's a big problem right now with people buying Teslas
And then just selling them.
Yeah. They're literally like, that's all they're doing. They're buying and flipping them.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, capitalism. But
I love it.
but yeah, so they're going to start making the tri-motors first, and then the dual motors, and then the single motors. So if you get the tri-motor, you'll get yours faster probably.
Okay. So go try motor.
Yeah. That's the one I would do.
Yeah.
I want one, and if I have to pick one, it would either be the dual or the tri-motor. And that's the only I don't care how many motors it has.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how fast it goes. I don't care where the 0 to 60 is. The tri-motor is going to have the biggest battery. So probably 600 miles plus.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the one I want.
Yeah.
After having a Tesla, if anybody buys a Tesla, buy the biggest battery you can.
Yeah.
Because that's the best.
That's common sense.
Yeah. Which they just installed a Tesla supercharger at Buc-ee's down going towards to the beach. And so we can make it from here all the way to Buc-ee's, charge up, be in Buc-ee's for 20 minutes, which you're going to be in Buc-ee's for longer than 20 minutes anyway.
Sure.
And then have enough charge to hang out the entire week down there. And then when you're on your way back, you charge up at Buc-ee's, go back into Buc-ee's, spend 20 minutes, drive the rest of the way home.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you can drive from Buc-ee's to the beach, drive around to the beach, and drive back to Buc-ee's on one charge.
Yeah.
In your car?
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Yep. Yeah, we did it 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jinx.
Poke.
So I'm all for Tesla getting a new service model.
Yeah.
Sounds like cool to me. I mean, most of my stuff's been same day anyway. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Elon.
One thing that we didn't have disagreements about was this guy named Greg Locke.
I don't know him.
He is a pastor in Texas, I think.
Okay.
He just had a big virality, whatever you want to call it.
Greg Locke.
Locke. So he has recently turned in his 501(c)(3) status. So he was like, so we can watch the video real quick on this guy.
Let's watch it.
Greg Locke, a while back, claimed to have given up his tax-exempt status.
So guess what I did this week? I got an attorney, and I dissolved our stinking 501(c)(3) in this church, because the government ain't gonna tell me what I can and what I can't say. So IRS, we don't need your stupid tax-exempt status. You can put it in a bag and burn it in your front yard for all we care. I renounce 501(c)(3) communism in this church. So we'll say what we want to, Skippy Lou. And the IRS and the FBI and everybody we've been turned into can eat my dirty socks on live TV.
Some sleuths in my audience went in search of his business license and discovered that it is, in fact, as of this moment right now, still active and tax exempt. He's still not paying taxes. Greg Locke, a while back.
So there's a lot of that I have no idea what he means. Like, it's communism to have a 501(c)(3).
So it's communism to not have to pay taxes.
And like the whole, like, you can like why would you, what, the government's not controlling what you say. They don't care what a church says. They're not coming knocking on your, surely they're not coming and knocking on your door. I don't know.
I don't think so. But I mean, what are they doing that the IRS would come and complain about that?
Probably hate speech, knowing this guy.
Well, the IRS
like,
can't do anything about that.
The FBI.
They can't do nothing about it. You can say really hateful things. We have the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't say hateful things, but you can. Like,
you can say whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I want to do some more research on that. I want to learn more about it.
That guy is insane.
He seems like a Looney Tune.
That's the same guy that he got up not long ago and was like, if you voted for Biden, get out of my church. If you're a Democrat, you're a Satanist. Get out of my church. Which, if you believe that somebody's a Satanist, or you believe that somebody's not a Christian based on what they voted on in an election, wouldn't you want those people in your church?
If you read your Bible, yes. But
obviously that's not the case.
I mean, he's talking about IRS eating dirty socks on live TV. I don't know.
That's the weirdest.
Yeah.
I've been a part of a lot of weird church stuff, and that's pretty up there.
Yeah, that's
Eat my dirty socks on live TV.
Because they don't want you to pay taxes.
Yeah. The only weirder thing that I've heard that I can think of from a pulpit is I'm going to be dressed up in a hot dog suit and meet Lady Gaga and share the word with her.
Who did that?
A little guy named Matt Pitt.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's he doing these days?
I have no idea. I Google like every 2 months just to
Really?
figure out if he's even alive. So,
I worked with a girl years and years ago, probably 10 or 12 years ago, who went to the basement. And she was like all about it.
Yeah. I probably know her.
I don't even remember what her name is.
Oh.
Yeah. But that guy's, he's weird. He's crazy.
Yeah. Greg Locke or Matt Pitt?
Both.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Both. I mean, Greg Locke for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to know what Matt Pitt's doing. If you find out, let me know.
Oh, definitely. I'll let everybody know.
Please do.
I'm sure people want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
The IRS is after Greg Locke, and so is the FBI, assumedly for hate speech.
Did you know that's why they just hired 84,000 IRS agents?
For him?
It's got to be. All of them coming after that one guy.
Yeah. That and Venmo transactions.
You know?
That
601.
Probably got a couple of those that are going to come into question this year.
Man, did you hear they're about to hire?
Yeah.
That's insane. And they're doing it to go after, somebody said estimates were as high as $1 trillion in unpaid taxes.
Which is a lot of money.
But they would just squander it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And here's the thing. In order for them to, they would each have to find, I think it was like $64,000 in unpaid taxes. Or maybe I may be getting that wrong. But it was some number that they couldn't, it's not attainable. Like your return on investment is not there. So I don't know.
Oh, gosh. My calculator won't let me go to $1 trillion.
No, you can 999 billion, nine's all the way down.
Okay.
You're just one off.
And then divided by how many workers were they?
It was 84,000, I think.
84. So they would have to find 11,000 apiece to make it to $1 trillion. But that's going to be offset because, like, you're going to have to pay those people at least $40,000 apiece. Mm-hmm. So they would have to find 40 plus 11 for you to even be breaking.
Maybe that's what it was, like 60 something. Yeah.
For you to be, because their salary plus $11,000. Yeah. And they're focusing on these like small, like Venmo transactions and stuff like that. It's like,
see, and that's what I want. Are they really, or are they going after like bigger businesses? Which is aggravating to me. Like I've never been audited. I have a great accountant who is by the book with everything, and that's very grateful for that. But like
by the book.
I'm just kidding. No, and we're both always like, I want to pay what I owe. I don't want to pay any more, but I want to pay what I owe, and because I don't want to have to deal with that. So I've never been audited, but I can imagine that just sounds like it's awful.
Being audited?
Yeah. Like I got to sit there and provide records to some government employee.
Yeah.
Like that just sounds awful to me. I
know a guy who got audited, and he kept all his receipts and transactions and stuff like that. And he kept it in a box. And when he got audited, he handed it to the IRS.
That's
guy,
fantastic.
And he was like, have fun.
I don't even get receipts.
And then they were like,
I have QuickBooks.
I think they came back and it was like, Mr. So-and-so, you owe us. And it was like $600.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, good job, man. You got them.
You found $600.
found
You
'em.
spent 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it was a long time that they were.
Weeks and weeks
Yeah.
digging through records.
Yeah.
Like they lost money on that deal.
Surely they would have had to. I don't understand any of it, man.
I don't either.
I just that's why I don't pay taxes. I don't pay sales tax.
Really?
I don't pay income tax. I don't pay road tax.
You have 501c3?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't renounce it. That's another thing. When you start renouncing things,
Yeah. That aren't the devil.
yeah, they aren't the devil.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a little weird.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I'm gonna have to wrap it.
you got to head out.
We do.
So yeah, this is a short episode, but it was something to like kind of just get you guys acquainted with him, have a little fun,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
now we're good.
We'll be
So,
back next week. with
Yeah. Well, and so we talked about this on Sunday. So it was 2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, geez.
Today's Monday.
Yeah. So we talked about it yesterday, and they were like, "How can we get one out this week?"
Yeah.
And this was our
This
this
is
was
it.
our option.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
So we did it.
Yeah.
Made it happen.
Episode 115,
We did it.
and then next week we'll
Yeah.
be back.
116.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Am I going to do it?
If you want to.
Well, thanks for letting us into your hearts, your homes, places of work, your cars,
And your butts.
and your butts.